Hey, how's it going? It's me, Marco here. So, what I wanted to do in this video is talk through my thought process as to the rating I believe this upcoming Player of the Month Mbappe SBC will be, as well as what I think will be a reasonable price range, all things considered, and also map out what I think the squads might look like. That is going to be my best guess, but EA could go a number of directions with how they want to price the SBC, but I do feel like they only have one logical option with how they're going to rate the SBC. So let's just pretty much dive in. If you enjoy this type of video, it would be cool if you want to give a thumbs up. If you want to comment on anything, you agree, you disagree, or you have any other insights you want to share, you want to voice, happy to engage with people in the comments. So like I've said in other videos, so far all the comments have been either positive or neutral, and I do appreciate that. And I've enjoyed replying to comments so far, and I hope I hope to keep enjoying that. So let's just pretty much dive in. I think this Mbappe that is going to come out likely this week. People are speculating it'll come out on a Tuesday. Um, others think maybe a Friday, and that part of it doesn't really matter. Most of us expect an Mbappe SBC to drop sometime this week. I think it has to be 92 rated, and I think it cannot be 93 rated. Some people I think are assuming it has to be 93 rated because Mbappe also happened to just get a 92 Team of the Week card this week. So some people just automatically think that the Player of the Month must be one rating higher than their Team of the Week. That is not true. There are plenty of cases where that is not true. And this would be a prime example of considering the time of the year, the amount of fodder that's available or lack thereof, depending how you want to look at it, whatever. And the fact that a 93 rated Player of the Month Mbappe would have to be so expensive that, in my estimation, it's a bit of an arbitrary number, but I'm going to say like 0.1% or less of the entire FIFA EA FC Ultimate Team community or player base will be able to get that done. I mean, maybe I'm underestimating how many people spend a lot of money on store packs. I'm not one of those people. I like to run a free to play RTG. The only points I get are for getting the Ultimate Edition 4600 at the beginning of the game. And other than that, not a penny, not a red cent spent on store packs or anything else to do with FC points. I believe everyone actually should run their clubs that way, to be quite honest and frank. But to each their own. I'm not going to outright tell people how to play a game or whether you should pay extra money to play a game. For me, I won't get into all the reasoning, but one of the main reasons is Electronic Arts hasn't done enough for their player base to warrant the player base handing them tons of money for store packs when things like the gameplay could be improved and player experience could be improved, right? And that's a whole long thing that we could get into. Not going to do that here. But what I'm trying to say is, if there are a lot of people who in the next 6 weeks spend hundreds of dollars, whether that's like euros, American dollars, whatever, on store packs, then yes, for those players who want to recycle all of that into this Mbappe SBC, that'll be way more attainable for them, even if they're a below average player of this game. Okay. And I don't really know. That's the one X factor that I don't know. EA knows that for damn sure. What percentage of the player base will spend a few $100s in the next 6 weeks. And they're going to take that into account to price this SBC, right? If a significant percentage of their player base spends X amount of dollars on average and are likely to spend more in the presence of this SBC coming out, they're going to factor that in. You can believe that, okay? But what I will say is purely from a performance base, I think even a 92 Mbappe SBC is going to cost at least 3.5 mil and hopefully no more than 4 million coins from scratch. And I think even that, it's hard to estimate what percentage of the player base will be able to get that card done. I believe I am in that relatively small percentage of the player base that will be able to get that card done because I play for the rewards and I play every weekend league and I perform pretty well, certainly above average in each weekend league, especially some more than others, and so on and so forth. And I'm diligent about how I manage my club because I run an RTG and things like that. I believe if it is in this price range, I will be able to complete the card. Whether or not I end up doing it or not, we will ultimately find out. We'll be covering that, I guess, in future episodes here, especially the RTG episodes, which I've been enjoying. If you haven't checked them out, check them out. I find them entertaining. The few people who I've been watching seem to find them entertaining. So yeah, anyways, behind me in the screen here, I'm sure you've analyzed this already, but I will talk through a rough estimate of how EA will end up making it cost 3.5 to 4 million coins. And before I just break this down and go into some comparisons and some other context, if they made it 93 rated, they would have to make the SBC cost like probably at least 5 million coins from scratch. And that just makes it, because you only still have a month is a long time to get a general SBC done. But for a card like this, it isn't that long. It's not like an icon card that you get 2 to 3 or more months to work on it. This is 1 month. If it's 5 million coins, like the vast majority of the player base is not going to be able to justify thinking all that in and risking not being able to complete the card in that 1 month. It's just way too out of reach for practically everyone. And that is ultimately why I think it's got to be 92 rated. So, this is just a general, I don't believe this is going to be like the exact requirements. So take this with a grain of salt, but the cumulative coin cost approximately of this projection is 3.5 mil. If you want to add it all up, it should add up to exactly 3.5 mil. And those are very accurate costs of each of these squad ratings. EA can do a bunch of different things. They can make the squads higher rated on average and maybe present less squads. They can present more squads than the 18 I have listed here. They could easily do that. They can make it 20 to 25 squads. They could do that. They have done that in the past. I've analyzed past SBCs because I was curious. I believe Cristiano Ronaldo got a Player of the Month 2, 3, 4 years back. I don't even know how long ago. I don't remember that detail right now, but I think that SBC had like 24 segments, and I believe it was around the same time of year. So they have done that before. Okay. And if they do make it more segments, they will probably have less than 3 89 rated squads, or maybe less than 5 88 rated squads, and so on and so forth. We'll see. I'm very curious to see. But 3 89 rated squads, I've listed 5 88 rated squads, 6 87 rated squads, 2 86 rated squads, and 1 85 rated squad. Usually they throw at least one lower rated squad and then 1 to 3 or 4 86s and stuff like that, even if it's a massive ultra meta SBC. They tend to include stuff like that. So also on top of that, I think the whole SBC, all segments included, will contain anywhere as few as 3 team of the weeks, maybe. I mean, minimum 2, but I'll guess at least 3, and no more than 4 or 5. If it's more than 5, I'd be pretty surprised, especially how expensive team of the weeks are in the market right now. And each of those team of the weeks on average will bump up the cost about 25K more than what it should cost, roughly speaking, to be honest. And depending on if the team of the weeks are required in the higher rated squads, it'll be more than a 25K increase on the total cost from scratch of this SBC. So I think that this isn't a bad projection. I think it's pretty decent. It at least gives you a visual of what the squads might look like if you're interested. Now, why would this SBC cost roughly 3.5 to 4 million coins? Well, I think all of us who play the game know that currently, and by the way, if you're curious, I pulled up those approximations. So here you see 85 rated squad is 60K, but an 89 rated squad right now, I think it actually went down a little bit from when I originally outlined this. So, you know, I'm being approximate. Okay. And fodder fluctuates week to week and day to day. So it doesn't change these projections really fundamentally. This was Mbappe last year, right? So where's Mbappe this year? So problem is Mbappe costs 2.6 million coins. And I think that they're going to feel like they have to add about 1 million coins at least to his market price of the gold card. And where I think it would be unreasonable is if they increased another more than 50% of his value, his gold card value. So that would be about 1.3, making it 3.9. So I can't imagine when they drop this SBC at the current fodder prices, whatever they are on that day, I can't imagine the list price being more than 4 million coins, especially because EA has to know they get backlash from their mistakes and their stupidity all the time. This would just become another prime example of that. And I mean, if there's any competence in that company at all, they won't make this SBC more than 4 million coins. It's possible because you can never look past that from EA. But I would just really be surprised. Okay. So that's pretty much why. Now we know last year. So last year, this is a card I completed and it was a real, really well-performing card for my RTG, which helped really bring my average win rate up from where I started the year in the first few months to where I ended up finishing. There was a very noticeable difference, and part of it was from getting the Jorginho SBC done and then this Player of the Month Mbappe completed. And at the time, the base version, I believe, was around 1.1 million coins. And this SBC was around 2.2 mil. People were calling it overpriced. A lot of people were. But you know what ended up happening? First of all, I got this SBC done. I was saving fodder. I was very, very conservative with my fodder last year to a point where when this card dropped, I had so many saved packs for the time waiting for something like this. And I just, over the course of 3 days in my spare time, I was opening packs and recycling into getting all the segments done here, and I got this card done for free. Made some coins on the packs back for sure, because I didn't use any tradable fodder, even the stuff I was getting back. I had so many packs. I got this card done within 3 days. It was 2.2 mil approximately. Maybe it dipped down to 2 mil at some point if fodder dipped. And the whole rest of the month, other people were getting this card done, and way more. Like, this card has 14,000 dislikes and 5,500 upvotes, and most of those dislikes are because people felt it was overpriced. But the number of people you would play against who also had this card would tell you that people realized it was good enough value to get it done. So even some people who are complaining about the price, like, a lot of those people were probably trying to get the card done, to be honest, by the end of the month. And if you're going to get it done, then especially this is like a god tier card in this game, you're doing it because you know it's worth it for you. Ultimately, you're making that decision. You're deciding that it's worth the investment. Okay. Regardless of what people click a button for here versus here. Okay. So, yeah, this Mbappe card. So this card, let's take a quick look here. This SBC dropped on, it looks like, Thursday, January 26th. And his base gold, which I'm going to drag over here for a sec, his base gold on January. So what happened here? So first of all, Black Friday was around here. Kind of took a little dip from 1.2 or yeah, 1.2-ish to about 1.05 or so. And here we go, drops. And then January 26th, I guess there was the leak, so he kept dropping into the panic, I guess. I don't remember. I mean, team of the year and stuff. The whole market went up after team of the year. Actually, that's part of what it was. Team of the year panic selling happened up until this point, and then when people realized, well, they realized that the team of the year cards weren't as abundant as they thought they would be. They weren't as easy to pack as they thought they might be. The whole market started to climb, including this golden Mbappe. But from January 26th until say February, end of February, card maintained its price pretty well actually. I sold it wherever, where was it? Yeah. Yeah, I sold it right around here. So cards started to fluctuate, went up a bit, but whatever, not a big deal. Got a lot of coins back, used up all my fodder from save packs, and enjoyed using this Player of the Month Mbappe SBC. So EA is going to factor in, okay, this was midway through the game cycle. They knew that people were going to, a lot of the player base would have a lot of save packs. So it wasn't so crazy to make the Player of the Month 1.2 or so million coins more. They kind of, in that way, they kind of know what they're doing, right? Whether or not they choose to kind of honor the player base and make it the right price is a different story, but they kind of know what they're doing, right? So anyways, that's pretty much that. Yeah, these were the requirements. If you're curious, you can actually look up the requirements from what that player. If you go to Footbin and you want to see the individual squads, you can't do that. Because Footbin over time, I don't know what they do in their code, but it gets overridden, I think, by other SBCs. So you don't at all see what the proper list of segments was within Footbin, but you can look that up. You can look that up online and you can actually see a breakdown. My prediction is very different than that because that was a 2.2 million coin SBC in the middle of or near the beginning of Team of the Year, where packs are more abundant. This is a totally different ball game. It's going to be 1.5 to 2 times as expensive, much earlier in the game cycle, and it's going to be. I think it's going to be a lot harder for people to complete. But I am leaning towards if this SBC is in the price range, I think it'll be, and if it is in fact 92 rated, which I think it has to be logically, I think I'm going to try to complete this SBC. Yeah, and I can explain how I'm going to, but maybe I'll break that down in future videos, but I'll mention it now and then I'll wrap this right up. Okay. Basically, for me, I've managed my club well. So far, my general rule of thumb is don't use tradable fodder to put into untradable SBCs. This Mbappe would have to be a major exception to that rule that I apply for myself because it is so meta, and I would be giving myself a disadvantage if I didn't do that, I think. What I did once the evening that it was confirmed that he won the Player of the Month award in real life, I used all my coins, which I had, I think I had right about 900K liquid. Again, I got good tradable rewards over the first 6 weeks, and I didn't waste any of them on SBCs so far. I use only untradable stuff for SBCs. And you'll see that through the upcoming RTG episodes. I'll show you the actual team updates step by step. You'll see them when you see the team that I'm running for each weekend league moving forward. I invested in, this is going to sound funny, but I invested in 15 Kevin De Bruyne's because the difference between a 91 and a 90 rated is actually not that much. And the difference that a 91 rated makes in the higher tier SBC segments is more significant and allows me to save more in the lower rated fodder and gives me more flexibility And it even has this bonus effect that people don't really think of too much, where you don't have to, for you to try to get like 1089s or whatever, 989s and 288s, like for you to get that without hitting, it gets a little bit messy is all I'm trying to say. You can hit duplicates along the way. It'll get a little bit messy, I think, at times. So the 91 really helps lower the rest of the squad rating. And so that's why I did that. Do I end up using all of them? Do I use any of them if I even choose to do this SBC? We'll find out. I'll probably make a separate video about that. Will I sell some off depending on how many segments this Mbappe is, and then try to preserve those coins, or use them for cheaper fodder for lower segments? We will find out. A lot of this is up in the air still, but this is my prediction essentially of the details of this very likely upcoming Player of the Month Mbappe SBC. And yeah, if you enjoy videos like this, if you like the more, let's say, analytical kind of videos, talking videos, let me know. Thumbs up will help me see that, and a comment helps me see that. So as always, hope you're taking care of yourself and those around you, and I hope you have a great day or night. All right, talk to you later. Peace.